Good morning, happy Thursday. Hello, happy phone 579. Hope your day's been going by so far. Well, stringing together words and sentence apparently not my thing until I have my tea. Let's switch over to the main screen. All right, there we go. That's all working and happy. Let's see where we are with all of this. We've got streamer and cargo run. So I believe where we left off is we have a spinning sword that's falling, but it's not necessarily falling in the nicest of ways. So if we drop that sword, like let's say 5, it comes down and then goes absolutely crazy. The red box that you see, that's the collision box. So I really want it to be spinning in the middle of that box and not well, on the top left axis is where we see it spinning actually. Didn't I have Ubuntu? I do have Ubuntu. It is on this computer right here. Unfortunately, that being a notebook with Ubuntu on it, it just wasn't able to keep up with Rust and the stream. Like, so when I had OBS running and whenever I tried to compile with Rust and do a Rust cargo run, it slowed us down to like 1 frame per second. I couldn't do anything on stream with Rust, which was really unfortunate. Doing any kind of like web dev programming, it's fine. Yeah, I guess it just really shows that Rust uses all the CPUs, all the memory, and everything else when it's compiling. When it's running, it's super fast. But yeah, that was really unfortunate, unfortunately. So I ended up buying a desktop PC that has a whole bunch of cores on it. And obviously a lot more memory, a pretty good graphics card, and everything now is much faster and works pretty dang well. So that's what I'm doing now. All right. So we want to spin. Here's our, let's see, we have our update. We're bringing in the rotation of the object, and then we're adding whatever the rotation that we have. You think you were there when the stream was at 1 frame per second? Yeah, and that was the problem. That was the problem. It was like there's a couple times when the stream got down to like 10 frames per second, and then it recovered, and that was fine. Then we kept on going, but then just it started going down worse and worse and worse with every update. And I guess like the Rust core team has been working on increasing the speed of the compiler, but at the expense of my poor notebook computer not being able to handle it and streaming to OBS at the same time. If I was to just do that on my own, it'd be fine. Everything would be great. Okay, so we have rotation here. And then we're adding our rotation of like whatever our velocity x is. Now, I don't think that that's necessarily a good idea for this. We should probably update similar to this. But that being said, we also want to, in our draw, system, so here's this, scale by, okay, so we get, we tell the sprite to draw, so it's actually the sprite system. And here we have this rotation. So we want maybe like an offset. Set the transform offset of the drawable, and that's a point. So we need to go, I think, to the left and down by like half of the half of the size. Oh, and I have the size. Ooh, no, I don't, because I don't. Do I have the scale? I do have the scale by, so I can calculate what the size is going to be. So 0.2 new. I want to start with, everything starts with 0, 0. So I just really want to go like over by the width of it divided by half, but it has to be the width, like, what is it? Self dot width times scale by. So take that entire thing and then divide that by 2.0, and to ensure that it happens in the right order, put parentheses around here. So that's our x, and then we want our y to be self dot height. Let's just parenthesize this right away. Times scale by divided by 2.0. Okay, so I think that's going to make it show up in the appropriate spot now. Let's see. We're at sword 5. Ooh. So that is clearly not good. I've broken it completely. It's not displaying at all. So that's a problem. Where is that? That's so set the transformation offset of the drawable. Do I need to do this before the rotation? Yeah, let's try that. How do you find all pairs of an integer array whose sum is equal to a given number? How do you find all pairs of an integer array whose sum is equal to a given number? Okay, so this is like, I guess in chat, if we have something like an array of, actually let's do this another. Okay, so if we have like an array of like 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, and then the given number is like 3, you want find all pairs of integer array whose sum is equal to a given number. So the given number will be 4, let's say, and I can maybe do it like 1. So you want, how do you find all pairs of an integer whose sum is equal to a given number? So basically, you want this pair. Like you want 2, 2, like the slice of this of 2, 2, to like know that it's this one. Uspy, good morning. Let's see. I mean, there's obvious, like my first thing would be to brute force it. That being said, my second instinct would be to use a hash map for this. So in Rust, if we have a hash map, and if I loop through this for like one time and I say, okay, I know I want 4 and I see 1 here, I'm gonna mark down that I've seen 1 and the value I'm looking for, actually I would say like it can't possibly be this, could it? Because it has to be a pair. Oh no, it's a sum, so it can be it could be anything, like 1 and 3 also work, right? Yeah, okay, so if I'm looking for 1, I'm looking for a 3 now. And then move on forward. Get to the second one, and I see that I've already seen a 1, and so now I'm looking for a 3. So I ignore that one. I see a 2, put down a 2, and then I say, I'm looking for a 2 now. I see another 2, and I say, ooh, I found it. So then I have a result that would then store, I found, I don't know, 2, 2. It depends upon what they want back, like tuple pairs, data structures, whatever. So then I'm here. So I found a 3. Ooh, I have the value in 3 in here that I found, so I can grab the 1 and 3 in here too. And then 4, and then that's nothing. So then that would be 4, 0, and then it'd be into the array, 1 pass through it, and I would get these 2 out. So I don't know. Does that answer the question? The times that I've seen these before, they guaranteed you weren't going to have duplicates, which does make it a lot nicer. But I would use a hash map to store the calculations, so I can do it in 1 pass through. And I know that might have been a slight joke, but does it actually answer the question? Because that's those are fun ones. Okay, so you found it on a website. There's tons of those challenge websites that have those type of things. They're pretty good. Okay, so I broke this. So Utsby, I tried to use an offset and I broke it. Or they're offset way too much. So let me try not using the scale by in this. Careless of me? Yeah. Clearly. Let's see if I just do self.width. I'm surprised it didn't remove the parentheses where it is yelling at me about unnecessary parentheses. No, that doesn't work either. Oh, wait, it's up here now. Look at that. It's up here. Ooh. I'm a werewolf, bro. Good morning. I guess it's not morning for you, but love from India. Awesome. Great to have you here. Is that an offset from 0 to 1? That's a good question. It doesn't, so this little documentation doesn't say. It's just like, set the transformation offset. If I manually set this, so the X, let's say that you are just like 0.5. 0.5. You're a small game dev yourself and you want to enter the game industry as a gameplay programmer. So I'm not sure if I'm the best for that. I'm not in the game industry. Although I'm not really planning on being in the game industry either. That being said, what's your experience, programming wise? I might be able to give you general advice. Okay, so let's try that. .5 puts it there. You can code. What level of coding would you say you are? You know how to. Can you do lots of projects? You have lots of points. Yes, Happy Phone, you do have lots of points. Everyone has lots of points. I haven't yet made very much to consume those points yet. That's actually going to be one of my next projects, is to build something that allows me to use those points in like these games, which I think would be a lot of fun. Or maybe other experiences. You'd say intermediate, let's see. So game dev companies, like normal companies, they all want something. They all want to provide value to their customer base, right? They're the players. So you need to prove to them that you can provide that value in order to get a job with them. So I would probably start by finding some of them. Okay. The rotation looks good now. And then once you like configure what value they need, and if you can provide it, then it's just convincing them that you have that value. And of course, that's like the interview process and all that fun stuff. So potentially one thing you could do to discover that is networking, finding people in the game industry that are working that way. You could use LinkedIn maybe, and then ask them if you can do something called an informational interview. That's where you're not trying to like get a job for them and ask them for a job. What you're trying to do is figure out like, hey, given where I am at, what would you do? Like, this is what you're asking to them. What would you do if you're in my position? Here's my skill set. Here's my portfolio of what I'm able to do. I want a job like yours. What would you do? And if you do that like 2 or 3 times, you can gather a data set and then use that to determine your next steps. You may need to take a job, like especially if money becomes a concern, which for most of us it is. You may need to take a job at a non-game company so that you can get some programming experience while you're trying to find the game company experience. That's my that's my suggestion. Okay, so we need to undo any previous manual offsetting you were doing. Where was I doing that? I was doing that. Was I doing that here? Scale off. No, I think I'm doing that when I'm creating it. So if we take a look at our main library, so here, like the flame instruction, for example. Yeah, we're getting the flame size and then dividing that in half to like figure out the X and the Y. Because, so in sprites, it's not this. In graphic system, for these, we have this get size, which is then calculating using the scale by. So if I stop the scale by, if I do this, let's see what that does. It's the, oh right, because now the hitboxes are too small. And that's still in the top left of the hitbox. I mean, it looks cool. It's very easy to avoid now because the hitboxes are so small. Bouncing DVD, yeah, kind of like that. Lord Mist, hello. Okay, so I kind of still need the scale by in order to inform the object what size it actually is after it's been scaled up. Although, maybe this isn't the place to tell it where the scale is happening. Maybe what I need to do is when I create you, so new sprite label by scale by, I should probably set the width and a height here based upon the scale by. So let's see. Game object draw system. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. I want the sprite. I don't take the scale by. How long have I been programming? Oh wait, first. What Rust-related VS Code extensions am I using? You just have the Rust Analyzer and Rust. Are there any others that you can recommend? So I was making pretty heavy use of the crates sort of package here until I installed the crates. What is it? I can't remember anymore what it's called. But like I'm using something else now to be able to add crates in. However, this crates is pretty amazing because you can come into any cargo.toml file and you'll get a green check mark and the ability to go to the docs or to just change which version you want to use by clicking on it. So crates is pretty good. I mean, I guess those are the big ones. Everything else is like generic and not for crates. Sorry, not for Rust. And then Happy Phone, you asked a technical question. How long have I been programming? I guess like technically I began programming professionally in 2014 when I get a job as a systems administrator at NASA. And that was like mostly automation stuff, a lot of shell scripting, a little tiny bit of Python. There was somebody there who hated Python. I took a class on C at that time and didn't really find much use for it. Before that, I hadn't really done like very much. It's little things like, oh, I programmed my T82 calculator, or I did I built like some automation, like random little thing, like animations in like one of those little games you got that are similar to Scratch now. So I would say that's it. A plugin for that exists. It's search something. I don't know that one. How is the red tape at NASA? The red tape at NASA was not as bad as you might expect, but that might be because like I was in it. Now we were a bubble inside of a bubble inside of a bubble. So like that's about as red tape as you can get, right? Because we were, so I was working at the supercomputing facility at the NAT, so NASA Advanced Supercomputing at Ames Research Center, and that was, we had our own support system. We did not use the agency support system. The red tape there is much worse. We also had a lot of Macs, whereas Windows for the rest of, a lot of the rest of NASA. We had a lot of Linux computers. That's where I learned a lot of Linux stuff. We had 2 Windows computers total that I had to touch. And I usually made another systems administrator deal with that. So I didn't admit that I knew how to do anything with Windows at the time. Let's see. We tried to learn search Creates.io. Well, yeah, obviously, like that's that's a standard way of doing it. But if you know what you want and you just don't know if it's been updated to a newer version, then this creates package is actually really nice. You tried to learn C++, but it seems too difficult. I don't know. Like everything is difficult until it's not, right? Like difficulty is just personal. Like for us, it's part of learning, right? C++ is awesome until you realize it's balls. You know that's also like another thing. Like oh, there's some people that love JavaScript and some people that hate JavaScript with a passion. And like yeah, it's fine. Like those opinions are great. Bear Duda, good morning. Not triplicate requisition forms for pencil then. No, I did create some forms that I made like some people fill out. I guess like the biggest thing is when you're working as a contractor for a government agency, everything needs to be tracked. So it's things like I took your computer, like so, you know, I took a computer from a scientist and I'm gonna repair it. And that's gonna take 2 days, let's say. During that time, we have to give them a computer. If they break the computer, I need proof that they had the computer. So that way, when we go and request some other organization for money again to replace that computer, they know it wasn't our fault, but rather some other employee's fault, because there's essentially like 4 or 5 different contracting systems, organizations, and then there's also the civil servants. Where does the money come from? That's where all the red tape is actually usually coming from. Is where does the money come from? Who's in charge of like giving that? If it's the contractor that breaks it, then the contract has to pay it. Let's see. Guess you both said to leave the other Rust streamer and watch this instead. I saw little notifications that a couple of other Rust streamers are streaming now. So I don't know who else that would be. Maybe Mr. Halsey. Or maybe Peyton Rules. Who are both doing a lot of Rust game dev. Necessary, I guess. Those bloody rocket scientists are always breaking computers and blaming other people. They usually don't blame other people, but the worst breaking I had was a classic notebook slammed on a pen. Like that broke the screen. That was pretty bad. You're tired, you're now gonna go to sleep. Well, thank you, Happy Phone, for stopping by and asking your questions. It's great to have you here, and have a good night. All right, where were we? We were avoiding having to figure out the positioning for this. So if I were to figure out like, how could I figure out what these are supposed to be? I believe that we're at like 64. Where's my draw? There you are. So 0.5 is like almost nothing. So if I just scale by itself, it's like self.width. Self.height. If I just do that, it's way off, right? Like it's too far. Lord Misden, 3 streams. I swear that I've seen some people like that who are who watch multiple streams. Okay, so that's like, who knows where it is? It's way off the screen. It's gone now. So self.width is smaller than if I also add multiplication to it. So I don't think it's that. It's me and Halsey. How can you pick one? There's that guy who's making the multiplexer so you can watch multiple streams at the same time. I forgot what his name is. He's from Microsoft, which that looks like it's going to be an interesting project. Now, if I divide you in half, are you close? Hopefully you'll get around to installing that third monitor so you can do that. I was looking at displays yesterday at like the big giant ones that are like curved, as opposed to like I have two displays right now, but like a single display might be interesting. That being said, that would potentially give me the ability to do all of that. You prefer multiple? Everyone has their preference. My CTO has a big curved one, and I was looking at like other battle stations that have that. So this is taking our width, dividing it in half, and it's way over here, and it's supposed to be here. Taking our width, dividing that in half, and it went to the left. That's an X offset. Is it offsetting from 0, 0 over here? Do I need to... Huh. What? Where is it offsetting to? It's, okay. Let's say I offset it to... It's like that's self.width. I think the monitor mount you have laying around is good for 4 monitors, and already have 3 monitors, and 2 of which are currently installed. Multiple computers, you run them all in one. Yeah, I prefer like one computer, multiple monitors set up myself, when possible. Oh, read your last comment. Scroll off chat. The offset needs to be 0.5, 0.5 for rotation and scaling to work. You need to adjust the drawing position you pass to be where the center of the object is. Okay, so we want the offset to be 0.5. 0.5. And then our desk location, we can like just change that maybe to be a 0.2 new. Can I do that without having to set? Let's try this. We'll do the location.x plus self.width divided by 2.0 location.y plus self.height divided by 2.0. Okay, let's see if that works. I mean, we're closer. Like, that's closer to center, that's not, and that's not. I probably need to now take the scaling into effect. So, location X, this. So then, take U and multiply by the scale by. No? Okay, that's way off. Let's see. Oh, I think I want to multiply. I may not need. Oh. Here. Parentheses around here. Positioning stuff in code, that's always fun. Yeah, it is. Okay, so the scale by stuff isn't right. It's like halfway up the screen now. I'm the guy who didn't do Windows programming in the 90s. I didn't do Windows programming in the 90s. All right. What happened here? Clearly the scale by isn't. Had to write everything out. Eventually we could save it to an RC. Let's see. So Win API is frustrating enough to this day. Then we got rad tools. I never did any Windows programming, so therefore I have no context of the pain of it. And even now that I'm on a Windows computer, I'm not doing Windows programming. Like I'm not trying to like, I guess like kind of I'm creating an app that runs natively on Windows, but I'm using like this framework that basically I don't have to worry about. You don't have to touch .NET or C#. So scale by. So take our x plus, so like take our width and increase it by this amount. That's clearly wrong. And then divide that in half to get like the width of it, right? So I really want location dot x. Oh wait, you know what I might want? I might want put parentheses around u and then open these up like that. Hey, there we go. Now let's drop a sword and see what this looks like. Sword 5. There we go. Thank you, Utsby, and everyone else. That's this works really well. These swords are a little bit difficult to avoid, but that's the fun of it, right? So we can now make them speed up or slow down probably. Inside of the physics, sword physics, we're saying the rotation, okay, so rotation plus equals to, we can just set this equals to be the self-dot velocity x divided by 2.0. How did I get them to bounce like that? So basically I give them a velocity going downwards. So I have my gravity velocity that I'm passing in here. And then I'm just saying, okay, your y position, every single frame add to that velocity. And then every single frame, take your velocity and add it to the position. So the velocity increases as it's falling. So it falls faster and faster and faster. And of course it hits the ground. So I have it hitting the ground here. I reset its position and then I reverse the velocity, but I don't have quite as much going down. So now it bounces back up a little bit slower, and then gravity is still pushing it. So it's slowly going up and then it falls back down again. And then I do the exact same thing with the X. I give it a random X velocity and then just let it bounce around. Not applying delta. No, not applying delta at all. I don't need to do any delta type stuff because in the main loop here, I am limiting our frames to 60 frames per second. This line of code tells GGEZ, limit ourselves to 60 frames per second. And if we don't hit the frames per second target, just skip to the next frame and then run it. So that way my math gets to stay consistent and we get get like the 60 frames per second or as close to it as possible. It's a really cool system. I like it a lot. And it makes dealing with the math for these super easy. All right. Did that answer the question about how I got them to bounce around like that? This is specifically the code for bouncing. Yeah, all right, perfect. You're pressing, so this type of like that kind of movement, especially with boxes and circles, super simple. Yeah, it's. I learned this to begin with using a book called Nature of Code by Daniel Schiffman from the Coding Train, which is a really fun project to watch or stream to watch. Let's see, let's do sword 5. Let's see what this looks like. Okay. Every time it bounces, it just goes by a little bit. That's not what I had in mind. I do need, okay, I think I need, what I want to do is have a velocity, so like a rotation. Hold on, up here first. Rotation velocity is an F32 velocity, and we're going to set this to 0.0 to begin with. What if I made the rotation? I did that at first. It's too fast. Maybe I can slow it down. That's what I can do. I can divide it. Let's do that. So initially, what I had was this rotation plus equals the velocity that I'm doing, self-velocity of x divided by 2.0. Let's divide by like. Let's multiply this by like 0.2. Slow that down a lot. And that should give us a good rotation that's not like insane. Maybe it's too slow. Let's try it out. Let's drop a sword. It's a little bit too fast still. I wonder if I need to drop it to like a 0.1. I mean that you get the tangent of the movement for the rotation. Oh, like the actual direction of the rotation. I don't know if that, because I can rotate by just increasing rotation or decreasing. And so you're talking about like getting the angle that we're moving at, and then having that be the rotation amount. That might work. I don't know what the like if I set this just out of curiosity. I want to see what number happens. Like if I set this to like 1.0, just every single frame we're increasing by 1. So sword's the sword's pointing in the direction it's going. That's what you're thinking. Oh, okay, yeah. We could do that. Let's see. What are ways I can get that? I can use, to make the math really easy, I can use vectors instead of points. It's here. It's a vector 2. Okay, so here we have our rotation. Let's actually create a function for this. function. This is going to be like the angle, like calculate rotation. And I want to turn in F32. And to here, I want to set rotation equal to self.calculate rotation like that. Okay, so you'll be happy with that. Now, obviously, I just have to like actually do this calculation. So I want to get my position. Really, I need the velocity that I'm going. Is that right? I need the velocity that I'm going of the x and y. Let me think about that. Because the velocity it's fun because like vectors, not vectors is in like the array type data structure in Rust, but vectors is in like the mathematical. It can be like essentially an xy coordinate, but it can also be a direction and a speed. So if I set this to be, if I take our velocity, I can get the magnitude or the distance. Let's do let direction equals vector2 new. I need our, so we have our velocity x. So self dot velocity x, self dot velocity y. So I can do this, and then I can do direction dot I want like the I forget what the name of it is. Do I want the magnitude of it? Or like the distance? The direction will be the angle, will be the atan of your velocity and y. Right, but there's a name for it that does that for me. And I can't remember what it's called. It's the, might be the direction. No, direction equal, okay, hold on, equals. Direction dot magnitude. That's what I want. Direction dot magnitude. And that gives me the length of it. That gives me the length. That doesn't give me the angle. Oh, okay. The angle, oh, and another vector of like where it is. Oh. Because I can get my current location. Just do the atan 2 myself. I guess I can. See the atan 2 of your velocity x and y. I always forget the math and like get it way messed up. But that's math on stream plus also math is not my strongest point. All right, let's see. The atan 2, and I forget. Do I have to add them together and then do the atan 2 on that? Or is it like velocity x? Would it be something like self.velocity x dot atan 2 of self.velocity y? And then return that. Would that be what it is? You return an F32. Well, we could try it. See what it looks like. Only one way to find out. Yep, that's true. Let's drop a sword. The answer is kind of. The facing of the sword. So it is going to where it's facing. The problem is the facing of the sword starts at an angle. I need to now like take that into account. So like for example, this was I need to offset it by a certain amount. ATAN2 is usually a function provided in a math library that takes y and x as parameters. So ATAN2 is also provided by Rust itself. So I can just take an F32 and run ATAN2 and hand it another number, and it works. Which is really cool. Like I really like the fact that Rust has all these methods built in. Now I could try y and do it on x. That's like my first instinct is just reverse it, see what happens. Sword 5. So like, it's not bad. I feel like I need to rotate it a little bit, plus offset modulus 360, except when they just jump like 90 degrees, which does happen. The sword is angled to start, and it's angled bottom left, bottom right. So I need to rotate it by like 45 degrees. And then I can't remember what this rotation is. I think it's in radians, not degrees, and I don't remember what that is. If I do this, like if I just say minus, I don't know, let's just say 50. Whatever this number, 50.0. Oh, pi times, that's a good idea. Oh right, because I'm doing it based upon, yes, you're starting out with this. Let's do that. We'll use pi. There is a pi. I have to do like F32 dot standard F32 pi consts frac pi, pi and then times 0.25. Okay, so let's try it. Okay, that's halfway. Don't need the standard. Okay, F32 should always be there. Let's try that. No, I do need the STD. Standard is necessary to be there. I think what it is because this is actually different than the normal number that we need. Just subtly in the background. Yeah, we need it for the consts. Okay, that must be what it is. All right, so let's do 0.5. If you call on the primitive, you can F32, but because I need the constants on it, like pi, I need the standard. Okay, let's try another sword. So, oh, we did 0.25, maybe 0.75? There's like, it's very close. Like we're... Okay, now this is backwards. It's going by the hilt. So if I want it to look more dangerous, it'd be the blade. So minus 0.785. Ooh, okay. So let's try that. Let's try this exact number. And this should be blade first. All the time. Let's do it. Oh, not sure if you still want the pie. Oh, just try to use that number. Okay. Yeah, that's... Sure, let's just use... Would it be times? Or like plus? It'd be times, right? You might be right, it might be plus. That's what the degree to rad converter gave you for a minus 45 degrees. Alright, so let's try sword 5. Okay. That gives me, so the side of the blade. Okay, side of the blade. If I take this and divide it by 2.0 first. Does that do the thing? No, not even close. That would be like a quarter. Multiply it by 2? I missed it because it loaded up behind. Radiants are weird. Radiants are weird. Oh, I should not. We had it where it was going towards the hilt. Let me see if I can undo it until we have that again. It was like this one, right? This was going towards the hilt. A-Tanto usually starts 0 at x equals 1 and y equals 0 and goes clockwise. Maybe I need to reverse it again. Okay, this is sideways like that. Okay. So that's sideways. So 0.25. If I reverse this again, change the minus to a plus. Okay, let's put this back to y and x. If I want to only change one thing at a time. Hey, there we go. That did it. Thank you, Utsby. That is perfect. So let's see if I can survive long enough for us to appreciate this. You really like how that looks? What do I think? I like this too. I think this is a great idea. The red boxes actually, well, it makes it easier for me to see them. It also is somewhat distracting. I should remove those because we already know like where our like overlapping is. Like it's pretty much right on the object. So I think that was on the sprite itself. No, not on sprite. Here's the border. Okay, so I want to not do you. Okay, so now I should be able to play it. I'll have to keep in mind that VIPs apparently can expand chat. Oh, Bear Duda, you sent me 4 bits. Thank you so much, Bear, for the 4 bits. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's really nice how nice that looks. I have to get used to like the movement that I've given my character. Lord Mist with 5 bits. You see your 4 bits and raise you my 4 bits. Well, thank you very much for those 5 bits that you've raised. Let's see. So if I have that, I kind of feel like now that we're gonna have so many things in here that I'm gonna want to go into our README. So we have spin the sword. That's working. Now we have created a second entry here. I now want to live long enough that this is gonna work. Peyton Rules raiding with a party of 6. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Also, thank you, Peyton Rules, for that raid. How's your stream? How was working on? I think you're working on a blackjack program in Godot and Rust. I think. How is that going? I am obligated to read Halsey when I am done now. Okay, we'll do that. I won't work late enough that I have no choice to just like do an emergency panic end. We'll raid Halsey at the end of this. For everyone who just came in, we're building a chat versus streamer game. So here's the way it works. We have it working quite well. Lots of refactoring today. Oh, that's awesome. Refactoring like in Rust, I found it's really nice compared to other languages. Like it works. Okay, so here's how this works. I'm the streamer down here in the bottom. I can move around. I have this timer on the right. That's how long you have until I win. Now, for testing purposes, I have it set to a really long time. You can use these commands on the right to drop things and try to get me. I need to make those swords disappear after a certain amount of time, don't I? Yeah. So in order to like give myself a chance to win, I know I died too quickly. So here's what I need to do. I need to, let's say that we've not created the second entity yet. I want to have swords disappear after like maybe 3 bounces. But I also want to give player 3 lives. So like I can be hit 3 times essentially. You can count the bounces and remove it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. 3 lives. 7 lives? That's nice that you suggest such a high number, Bear. You're also the one who sends the most out. So we can do that pretty easily. In sword physics here, we can count the number of bounces that we've had. So we'll do sword like bounces count 0 to 0. Oh, is this can be a U8, and then we'll start you with 0. Then every time that we bounce, so is first fall. Okay, so here we have you is first fall. We've hit the ground. Self dot bounces count plus equals to 1. Then every time that we fall and we hit the ground, that's what this is. Actually, it shouldn't be in here. It should just be down here. Then what do I want to do? I want to make it go away and die. How am I getting rid of the other sprites? It's like, for example, in the main library, game object retain, game object is alive. Okay, so is alive is checking. In game object, we have is alive. Oh, birth time. We just use birth time for it. Never mind. We'll just use how much time it lives for. Then we don't need the bounces thing. Yeah, I forgot we had created that system for it. That's actually a much nicer system. So let's go down to the main library. When we create, here's our sword, live 4. Oh, what? Yeah, that was fun. I don't know if you could see what that looked like. I accidentally sent, shifted the entire screen over to another window, which was not cool. Okay, so I want you to be a sum. You need to be a duration. Found the Switch desktop hotkey, yeah, by accident. Not always the funnest thing to do while streaming. So let's do a duration from sex. Let's say that we do like the same, 6 seconds. All right, and then we can run with this. And then window control left and right. Yeah, that's what I found. See what I missed. You still need to fix the black? Oh, yeah, like if you have text that's black. Yeah, so that lives for now 6 seconds. We can change that time to be like 10 seconds. You'll PR color fix after this? Oh, cool. I'll be happy to accept that. All right, so I think 6 seconds was fine. We could probably make it a little bit longer. like we could probably make this like 20 seconds. Then to make the game time, I have 500 seconds right now. If I want to do something like, I don't know if like 60 seconds, maybe it's like 2 minutes. That would be like 120 seconds. Might be short enough that like I can make it close. So it'd be like, okay, game is started. We have the timer on the right. You can drop swords and fire. The swords last for 20 seconds. The fires last for 6 seconds. And then I get to basically see how long I live. I should put, like, as soon as the game starts, I should put something into chat so you know, because there is that lag. And the lag is different for everyone. Oh. Bear Duda, you won with that Catvert helping out. Maybe the Sword of Lifetimes as a number of bounces. Yeah, so, okay, I do like that. Which means I need to refactor. Okay, so let's change this. So have the swords disappear after like 3, I don't know, maybe 5, maybe like, we could try 10 bounces. You think 7 bounces would be good? We could try 7 bounces. And then also we're gonna need to refactor the change is alive to check duration or bounces. Like we're gonna have to like have is alive unique per type of game object. So basically is alive right now is only looking at duration. I need is alive to look at duration or and then also another thing that I want is send a message to chat as soon as the game starts. Your domains are about to auto-renew. Well, I mean, it's unique to everyone, right? I always have it like auto-renew for a year and then forget about them. You can implement a bot to play for you for AF keychains. Oh, that's a really good idea. I'm gonna add this into feature requests. Create AI that plays for me. This is Lord MSTE. Also, the game should auto restart in bot mode. Yeah, so like if we were to do that, game auto restarts after winning. Cool, I like that. How many stream games can we fit on the screen before Brook Server becomes a bot channel? Like, that's kind of what my channel is right now, right? I build a tool and then I build a game that utilizes that tool. So like, for example, I built a wrapper around stream chat, like the Twitch chat crate. And now this is a game show like utilizing that. So the next wrapper that I'm going to build after this is going to be something that looks at the events. So things like spending channel points, or following, subscribing, spending bits. All of those things we can then throw, like implement into a game or any other like feature. So I might update this game to use that or create a new one. I don't know. We'll sort of see what we feel like. And then, of course, if I feel like being absolutely insane, I could just try to run them all at the same time. and then we'll just see like, oh, can I play, like, how many games can we play at the same time? This is only using like a few percentage points of my CPU and graphics, so I totally could. Yeah, when somebody gives bits, then all bits drop from randomly selected columns and the bits explode on impact. That's pay to win! I mean, somebody actually suggested to me privately that I implement a like helping the streamer command, not just against the streamer, where like somebody could drop food or something for me, and then that would give me more. That would give me more. If I do lives, that's also in here. Implement a life system so that I can be hit n times before. So I'm gonna be hit n times before game over. That might help a lot too, because we can get like a lot of swords onto the screen, and it's like the life system could potentially make it so that I can last longer and have it be a little bit funner. We could even make that life system scale so that the more people who are playing, the more lives that I have. I don't know, it might be interesting. Do I have a Discord server? I created a Discord server, and I had it under private, sort of like closed beta, and then sort of we've been moving with it. I think right now just a few people are invited, but I have been thinking it's probably time to just go ahead and open that up. So I don't think that there's a problem with me giving that out right now. Let's go ahead and launch my Discord. Let's see. Invite people. Let me get the link. I'll stay. Copy the link. Here is the Discord link to join my. So it's named Brooks Builds right now, and then the idea is I actually want to do a rebranding for it. Welcome, Lord's Mist. You already joined. Thank you. I am planning on doing a rebranding at some point in time, and so I have a conversation going on in there of like what I want that to be. So that is something also like I'm gonna probably do during that Discord. If that link expires for you and you're watching the VOD, send me a link to Twitter, and I'll get another link for that, and get you in there. Also be creating like a bot command so that way we can get some create some links that way. All right. I think I have time to do one more really quick feature, which is the send a message to chat as soon as the game starts. This I want to actually put in the refactor because I need to change the is alive first. So I'm going to say that you're done. Now if I want to send a message to chat as soon as the game starts, that's here in the main library. The game starts here, and I actually have this send to chat. I can function new right in here. The very first thing that I can do is I can just send a message to chat. I can say send to chat dot send. It is, what are you expecting? Is it just a string? It won't say. Let's try this. The chat versus streamer game started. Use the commands on screen to drop objects that the streamer will attempt to avoid. So if I just unwrap this, let's say, and send to chat.send is a Tokyo channel, right? Looks like it for me. It's actually just a normal channel. It's just a channel. You need to be a string, so we'll just to own this. Yeah, so this is actually it's just a normal channel from Sync MPSC. I'm not using Tokyo at all. No, yeah, so it's really interesting. Tokyo has made them like really popular, but Tokyo has their own channel system. But I think that they're using channels behind the scenes, but you can just set up channels on your own and just use them. It's really, really, really cool. I think I can actually show you where I'm creating that in my wrapper. Actually, you know what? It's our main. That's where it is. If we go to main here, I'm bringing in standard sync MPSC channel. I'm creating 2 sets of channels, so a sender and a receiver. One like for sending to Twitch, and one for receiving from Twitch. And then I use my wrapper and I hand it the receive from game and send to game stuff. And it's basically just gonna be strings. 1 strings and 1 is chat messages that are coming through. And that way I can get any of the information that I really care about. So if we run this now, we should get a message in chat here saying that the game has started. There it goes. Chat for streamer game started. Use the commands on screen to drop objects the streamer will attempt to avoid. And so that should let you know if you're following chat, you should now be able to see that before the game starts. Oh yeah, that's the other thing is I want to make it. Oh, have to avoid that. We should have it died. Like when I died, it send that too. You're always too slow. Well, is it that you're too slow, or I'm just not good enough? This is the greatest thing that ever happened to you. Oh, because you won. When the game is over, because like so I'm storing the send to chat in here. So when the game ends, where is that happening? Game time left. Because like I'm also seeing we have the event if I get hit. Here it is. Player hit object, try like the, then we set the winning player. So I can now do a self dot send to chat. do a format. The game is over. 1. And then that's going to be chatter name. Oh, we could just do self.winning player. Actually, no, I do have chatter name. Don't I? Chatter name. Oh, chatter name dot name. I think that's what I want. And I think I want to put like an @ in front of it. And then you're a dot send. Okay, so then you're unhappy with that. Chatter name dot name. Borrow move value. I don't want to take you. I'll just borrow you. I'm not trying to copy you. Borrow move value chatter name. I'm not trying to. I want to borrow you. Oh, that's because you're here. Let me grab the name out here. So let name equals. Oh, because you're owned by that. Oh, we can create our message. It's like that message to chat equals. Then we do this format first. Because we have to create the string anyways. We might as well just here with a string slice to it. Then we can give ownership to the winning player, and then we'll send the message to chat. So the order of it is just all we really care about, and then that makes it happy. All right, let's try this. Okay, so it says when we start, and now you play it. I have 2 minutes to survive. I was gonna say I was gonna get lucky with these bounces, but I don't think I did. Ah! Okay. The game is over. Bear do that one. Oh, and I had even like the @ works exactly as it is. Just launched 10 of them. Yeah, I think I would need to like there's obviously some bounce things that I can do, like if we make it so that they bounce only a certain amount of times, or you're only allowed to launch so many of each type, like as an individual. That might be interesting. Lord Mist, you need to code more Rust. Your GitHub is only 3% Rust. Oh, my GitHub is like huge JavaScript. Because that's like what I do professionally. Okay, but I think we're in a good place for today. So next time, you need to delete that GitHub and start over. That's just because Rust is so concise. Yeah. All right. And Rust actually plays nicely with others. So even in Rust projects, you might have other things. Your GitHub is mostly Java, Kotlin, and then some Lua and Rust. I mean, that's a pretty good combination. All right, so we have all of this stuff. We go ahead and push this all up to GitHub. So what we do, so limiting time for swords and pointing them in the right direction. So go ahead and push that up. I have that all available at Bang repo. It's the first link in there. Then it looks like tomorrow we have this done. Tomorrow I think we're going to implement a life system. Actually, tomorrow's Friday. Oh no, I'm not going to work on this tomorrow tomorrow is going to be Exploration Friday. So we're going to take a look at something. Last week we took a look at the Bevy game engine and decided that it was something nice, and maybe one of our next games we're going to implement is going to be using Bevy. So tomorrow I'll figure out what we're going to look at, and look at that. Take a look at Updog. Send a message to me on Discord for what suggestions for me to look at, and I'll be happy to sort of like look into there. If you want to join Discord again, there is the link to that. And with that, let's go ahead and set up our raid to Mr. Halsey. Mr. Halsey. Okay, got that going. Do I know Updog? No, I don't. I don't know Updog. So I'll that might be something. I'll add it to the list. Or if you have a link to it. Okay, so clearly I'm missing something a lot. Also, you sent me a bit, which I missed. So sorry about that. Ask you what it is. What is it, Bear? You tried. I know. I'm not getting it today. I'm oh God. I get it now. What is up, dog? Have I used the Piston game engine before? I have not. I have not looked at the Piston game. I've looked at it, but I had never used it. Not even like I haven't gone through the tutorial or anything. So the answer to that is no, I haven't. All right. We're raiding imminently. 5 seconds left. Hey, everybody, have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Bye.